usually either you or Eric send out one the day before or the morning of, and I didn't get anything today. So, but the .info site that one of my emails is through is kind of interesting. It like blocks a lot of stuff out. So definitely the UNF site I sent would be a reliable one, but if both could be on there, that would be great.
Okay.
And my Tampa one too. I'm still reserve. I mean, I don't, if you can put three, because I'll use all three of them at different times.
All right, cool. Will do. Will do.
We can give folks just a couple more minutes to filter in before we go ahead and get started. Okay, I think that's probably enough time. I reckon we can go ahead and get started. So welcome everybody to our West Central CTST meeting today. We can start with introductions. I am Eric Henry with FDOT District 7, your CTST program manager. Melissa, if you want to go down the list for introductions.
Yep, sure thing. So hey everybody, I am Melissa Shepard with JMT, one of the District 7 safety consultants. All right, so then online we have Allison Cornelius.
Allison Cornelius with the Citrus County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you very much. We got Bev Howard. Hey, Bev.
Hi, Beverly Howard, Citrus County.
All right, thank you very much. And then we have Brenton Mosier.
Brenton Mosier, USF Cutter.
Thank you. Ernie Lane.
Ernie Lane, Hernando County Engineering.
Thank you. Jay Patel.
Jay Patel, Elma Engineering.
Thank you. And then we have Miss Laura Anstead.
Sergeant Anstead, Citrus County Sheriff's Office Traffic Unit. Hello, everybody.
Thank you. Lori.
Hello, everyone. Lori Paleo, JMT.
All right. And then Jim Reiser.
Jim Reiser, new District 7 law enforcement liaison for the state of Florida.
All right. And then Sergeant Andrews.
Hey, everybody. Sergeant Andrews, Hernando County Sheriff's Office, Traffic Unit.
All right. Awesome. And then just to let everybody know, this meeting is being recorded. If you are not speaking, please mute your mics. All right. And that's it, Eric. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Melissa. With that, we can go ahead and move on to the review and approval of our last meeting's minutes. You should have received those in the mail if you're on the mailing list. If not, they're available on the website. Melissa's also flipping through them on the screen now. So if we could take a minute to look over those, and if I could get a motion to approve and a second for those.
I motion to approve.
Thank you, Sergeant Anstead. Do we have a second?
This Jim Reiser, I'll second.
Perfect. Thank you, Jim. Alrighty, with the minutes approved, we can go ahead and move into the review of old business. Pull up the problem location sheet here. Or Melissa's got it, even better. First up is quarter wide on the Good Neighbor Trail. I know there's been several updates on this on the last one. They're repairing or replacing some of the ADA mats. Has there been any change on that, or?
I don't think this, Ernie, I don't think there's been any change on that. I just got my computer back up and running about an hour ago, so.
Alrighty, no worries. They're still, they're still working on it though, right? They haven't completed all the work?
Yep, it's still on the
Okay.
list to get done.
Alrighty, so no update for today. We'll keep that as just ongoing. Mariner Boulevard and Northcliffe Boulevard is the second item. The last update we have is that Sergeant Andrews of Hernando County stated that he drives through the area regularly and hasn't seen any changes, so probably still on the list. This is related to the guide skips at this intersection, I believe.
Yeah, this is Ernie again. Yes, I think that is. And no, they have not been installed yet. I'll get with David Bland in the morning to find out what the status is. It's been out here too long.
Alrighty, so following up with one of the project managers to see if we can get an update on that one, get that one rolling, because that one has, I think, like you said, Ernie, been on there a while. Alrighty, moving right along then. Main Street, US 41 and Highland Boulevard, rather, in Inverness. I still haven't heard anything back from traffic ops on this one. I know they had initially sent out one of their signal timing consultants to take a look, and they did tweak it a little bit, but I don't know if necessarily they did enough to fully rectify the issue. So I did follow up with them to see, ask them a couple of things if they had considered it or not based on suggestions from the group, but I still as of yet have not heard back from them. So I will try to keep on them and see if there's any update they can provide, or if they've decided that they've done all that they can, then we can take it off pending discussion from the group. So we can move on from this one. We are getting through these quick today. Item number 4 is Powell Road at the Suncoast Trail Crossing. Who's the last update on this one? Ernie, do you have any update on this one?
That's Ernie again. No, I do have an update. Of course, all the computers been down since 1st of April, so we're starting to get them back in line. So I'll go back in the morning to see where this one is hiding at.
No worries. Yeah, I'm sure after a month of being down, it's probably going to take a while to sift through all that.
Right.
Alrighty, well, we'll keep that one pending an update then. Number 5, County Line Road at Trillium Boulevard. This is one that was brought up by a citizen, Michael Tard. He did reach out to me yesterday morning to share some information. Last time we had discussed maybe looking at either implementing or extending the time on the LPI at a couple of those crossings. He wanted to share that he wasn't able to attend today, but he'd like me to share that he's not noticed any additional seconds added to the LPI at either crossing, and wanted to recommend lengthening the LPIs at these intersections sooner rather than later because he's had a couple of close calls. So I know we were looking at that. Did we determine if there was an LPI already, or if there is, what the timing was and whether we could extend it a little bit?
This is Ernie again. Yes, there's LPI out there, and it was my understanding that they did extend that last month.
Okay. Do you happen to know what they extended it to?
No, sir, but I'll try to find that out.
Okay, will do. It maybe he just hadn't looked at the time before and was only looking at it after, and it didn't feel any longer.
Right.
Okay, perfect. I'll follow up with that citizen then. We can keep it on the problem location sheet now, maybe just until we figure out what the LPI is currently at, and I'll talk with Mr. Attard a little bit. But that sounds good. Next up is Mariner Boulevard. George isn't here today unless he's hopped in since we started, but I know he received some crash data, and I believe Emmett assigned JMT to do a safety study out here. I haven't heard anything one way or the other about that. I'm not sure if anybody else here has. Nobody? All right. I'll follow up with Emmett or George, or maybe some other JMT folks, and see if they have heard anything or what the status on that one is.
Yeah, we're still working on the study. So
Okay, so the study's just ongoing.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that is good there. US 41 and Eastbrooks Lane and Citrus. This is that we had a citizen complaining about people parking in the sidewalk or in the parking spots of that restaurant that's at that intersection. It's kind of blocking line of sight on US 41. They did wind up striping over a few of the parking spots to prevent people from parking there, but people were just parking over the hashed out zone anyways. I'm not sure what further we can do here. I don't know if this is something that we can, and if if this is more of an enforcement issue at this point. I'm not sure how much more we can ask the business owner to do. They hash out, I think, 2 or 3 parking spaces.
So this definitely is something that we'll put on our radar for enforcement. We just might need to go down there and kind of make our presence known so that they understand.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you, Sergeant Anstead. Hopefully with that, it'll be enough to get folks to stop parking there, because I could see the issue. It's a lot of, he said, a lot of like larger trucks parking in those spots. So you have to really kind of get almost into the travel lane to be able to see what's coming at you. And he sent us a photo he snapped of somebody parked right there. I mean, there was open parking spots next to the guy, and he parked in the hashed out spot anyways. So might be tough to change behavior on that one, but I appreciate the effort in trying. I believe that is the last item we have on the problem location sheet. So with that updated, we can go ahead and move through into calendar updates and activity reports. I don't have much. I can just say that May is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. So if you are doing any kind of outreach campaigns or education or anything related to Motorcycle Month being in May, just let us know. We'll see if there's any opportunity to coordinate, work together on that. We do have a bunch of yard signs that we got from USF that are like watch for motorcycle signs. We've been handing those out or offering them up at the past CTST meeting. So if anybody's interested in any of those, I'm sure we can find a way to get them to y'all. There's like a standard kind of yard sign. I don't think I really have anything else for this group. The pedestrian trail on the Courtney Campbell Causeway is going to be closed for a couple of weeks, starting as of a couple of days ago. So I don't know if any of y'all get out that way to walk that trail, but it'll be closed for maintenance for a little while. I think that's all that I have for activity reports. If anybody has anything they want to add, let us know what you're up to.
Is that Eric? Just wanted to mention at your directive, we are going out to the Good Neighbor Trail grand opening on May 22nd, Wednesday, May 22nd. So we will be doing some educational stuff there at the grand opening. So that will be great. I know a lot of cyclists have been looking forward to this trail gap opening for a while.
Awesome. Anybody else with any calendar updates or activity reports? Nobody? Okay. Hearing nothing, we can go ahead and move on to the fatal crash map. Laura, you want to take us away?
Yep. Sounds good. So starting with Citrus County, from January 1st to February 26th, there have been 5 fatal crashes. At the last CTST from January 1st to January 29th, there was 1 fatal crash, so there's been 4 new fatal crashes. That includes 1 rear end, 1 unknown, 1 pedestrian, and 1 rollover fatal crash. The rear end fatal crash was on February 4th at 2:18 p.m. on North Carl G. Rose Highway at East Bruce Drive, not at the intersection in day clear and dry conditions. The vehicle was wearing a seatbelt. The driver of the vehicle was wearing a seatbelt. The unknown fatal crash was on February 11th at 3:42 p.m. at 2120 East Gulf to Lake Highway at East Gulf to Lake Highway. It was in a parking lot in day clear and dry conditions. It was a motorcyclist, and the motorcyclist was not wearing a helmet. The vehicle one was traveling east in the parking lot of 2120 East Gulf to Lake Highway. That was at the racetrack, approaching the south exit leading to East Gulf to Lake Highway. Vehicle 2 was traveling west on East Gulf to Lake Highway in the right turn lane, approaching the south entrance of the racetrack. As Vehicle 2 entered the south entrance, Vehicle 1 fell into its left side and began to skid eastward and collided with the left side of Vehicle 2. The pedestrian fatal crash was on February 12th at 12 a.m. at South Suncoast Boulevard and West Village Drive, not at the intersection, in dark, not lighted, clear, and dry conditions. Vehicle 1 was traveling north on US 19 in the outside lane, south of West Village Drive, and Vehicle 2 was traveling north on US 19 in the outside lane, south of West Village Drive, behind Vehicle 1. The pedestrian was standing stationary, facing in a western direction in the northbound lanes of US 19, south of West Village Drive, and the front right of Vehicle 1 collided with the pedestrian. The rollover fatal crash was on February 26th at 4:16 in the morning on North Florida Avenue and Davidson Avenue, not at the intersection, in dark, not lighted, clear, dry conditions. This was an activity area, so there was work on the shoulder or the median. And the vehicle struck a water pipe, curb, and then a tree, and failed to make control of the vehicle. The driver was wearing a seatbelt. So again, for Citrus, there were 5 fatal crashes through February 26th. In the same period in 2023, there were 3, so we were up by 2. And it is important to note that motorcycle crashes on the map represent 40% of all fatal crashes for motor travel. So that's something important to note, I guess, for motorcycle month. For Hernando County, from January 1st to February 26th, there were 6 fatal crashes. At the last CTST from January 1st to January 29th, there were 5. So there's been 1 new fatal crash in Hernando County. That was an off-road fatal crash on February 12th at 6:15 in the morning on US 41 and CR 484. It did not occur at the intersection in dark, not lighted, and clear, dry conditions. Vehicle 1 was southbound on US 41, entering a curve near the intersection of CR 484. Due to unknown reasons, Vehicle 1 began to cross the northbound lane, and then Vehicle 1 exited the east side of the roadway and struck a guardrail and then a pedestrian rail. This driver was driving a medium or heavy truck, and they did not use a restraint system. So there were 6 fatal crashes through February 26th. In the same period in 2023, there were 7 fatal crashes. So Hernando County is down by 1, same time period. And that is everything I have. Anyone have any questions? Jim?
Yeah, I can add to that a little bit.
Okay.
Just since your last meeting, and I know I'm coming in as a new LEL, I'm going to try and give you guys as much updates as I can. So I'll build on that. But since your last CTST, looks like there was 1 fatal crash, Ford Island Trail at west of Seabreeze Point. It was a roadway departure. Driver lost control around a corner. Passenger looks like was ejected, and the passenger was killed. That driver was arrested for DUI manslaughter. He did survive. And then this past weekend, it looks like there was 1 up in Beverly Hills, North Forest Ridge Boulevard, south of West Pentstemon Court. I'm sure the Citrus SO knows that area well. That's another roadway departure, failed to negotiate a curve, looks like a single vehicle, struck a pedestrian guardrail, and then came to rest in the front yard of somebody's house and suffered fatal injuries at the scene. I can tell you this, that everybody to the south is getting hammered right now. Pasco County's had, last couple of weeks have been very busy, Pinellas and Hillsborough. I don't have any records for Hernando unless Sergeant Andrews can add something to that, but it looks like they've been, knock on wood, fairly quiet right now. But those are the two I have from Citrus since your last meeting.
So these are all like the more up-to-date ones, right? With this data, it's 60 days behind, so we don't have access to that. So are these like the newer crashes?
Yes, this is the newer stuff that's recent. The reason why I think that's important, especially for the law enforcement partners, is if you have a new trend emerging, they need to address that quickly. Sometimes, like when I was a sergeant in Tampa, it's not unusual. You'll get a roadway, all of a sudden you start having a bunch of fatals out there. And speaking of the Mariner Boulevard, I did talk to George about that. And like you said, that's in process right now. It'd be interesting to see what the study says on that, because I think those are some sweeping curves through there. Because that's south of State Road 50 there. I used to live up in that area, so it'll be interesting to see what that study says.
Yeah, knock on wood, we haven't had any major issues out there recently. And Lori, I might have to get with you. I tried to get that my Signal 4 account updated or whatever, so I could see stuff sooner. And
Okay.
they responded and said they got my request, but I haven't heard anything. So I don't know of any recent crashes or any trends that we have going on right now. It's been pretty decent down here.
Perfect.
Right, good deal. Thank you, Lori, for the update, and thanks, Jim, for the updated information. That, like you said, sometimes those new emerging trends are a big help to be able to identify. We thankfully have the memorandum of understanding with DHSMV that lets us access it, but we can't really do anything with it unless it's related to an FDOT project. So we can't exactly use it in meetings like this. So it's great to have that input for the group.
Sergeant Andrews, did you happen to check like your spam or anything? Because I remember I had issues when I was making a Signal 4 account where like it would like go to my spam box and I didn't even know I received the email. I think it was in my Mimecast or something. Is that something to consider?
Yeah, I checked it. I didn't see anything in there, and their response to me for the initial request came through fine. Nothing's changed yet with my account.
Gotcha.
Hey, Eric, did I make you nervous by giving you that new information that was up to date?
No, I'm glad I could probably go pull it, but then I'd probably get fired or arrested for sharing it. But you're the LEL, so you can do it. Right.
So let me preface that. That's all public information. Those are press releases that were put out by FHP. And a lot of times, look, people have days off, they're on vacations. It's good to be aware of that information. But Lori, if we have a contact for the MOUs, there's a couple agencies that have already reached out to me and said that they've heard nothing. And I have a feeling they're getting inundated up there. So if you could provide a contact to at least give a status update so we can tell these agencies where they're at in the process, that would be much appreciated by all the law enforcement.
Yeah, we've been hearing that a lot at pretty much all the CTST groups, is that anybody who's applying would love just a name of somebody to talk to, because I think it's just a generic email address that they're sending people to. And like you said, I'm sure they've been getting hundreds of them that they're having to sift through. So, all right, does anybody have anything else on the fatal crash map or anything else related to crash data? Hearing nothing, we can move on to the SRTS update. Does anybody have anything on that? Safe routes to school? I have not heard anything out of our office related to safe routes to school for this area. I can double check though, because I do not manage that from our office. So it's very possible that I might just not be aware, but I don't believe we do. Does anybody else have any pending safe routes to school projects or applications that they're waiting to hear back on? No? Alrighty, we can move through to the HSIP update. We have several pending applications. The portal's still open. If you've got any ideas, feel free to talk to Melissa or myself. We'd be happy to set up a meeting with some safety office folks to talk about it. If you have any ideas before you even get to the application stage, we'd be happy to talk about it a little bit. Set expectations, tell you what kind of stuff's been successful in the past, whatever you need to figure out. Other than that, it's open and money's out there. So, Melissa, do you have anything else you want to add on that?
Nope, but it's first come, first serve. So if you want to get some safety items, let us know sooner than later. We can get you in the
Yes.
queue.
Alrighty, that's the whole update. So we can move on to new business. Does anybody have any new problem areas or anything else they want to bring up to discuss with the group?
If I've got some law enforcement partners on here, can I hijack your meeting for about 5 minutes?
Yeah, please do. We're way ahead on time, so.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to try and share a screen with you guys here on this. And I know not everybody's going to be able to see it, and that's fine. Let's see if I can find this. Let's see. Is that coming through to you guys at all? You see anything?
I've got nothing.
All right, let me try one more time. If not, I'll just talk about it. Let's see. Okay, that's a big fail. All right, I'll go through this real quick. For the law enforcement on the line, I'm Jim Reiser, new D7 LEL. I sent most of you an email giving you contact with me. If you need anything as far as traffic safety products, please get a hold of me. I'll see if I can get you some materials out there. I'm trying to go around and do agency visits within the next couple of weeks. Try and make it in the northern part of the district. Just to make you aware, and for the general group there, we do have a Click It or Ticket initiative coming up. That's going to be starting the National Seatbelt Mobilization. That's May 20th through June 2nd over Memorial Day weekend. There'll be some agencies that are doing press conferences for that. That is a reportable initiative through the LEL. Ask the agencies to please participate. I understand there's manpower issues at some agencies or personnel where they're not able to put people out there, but please report for your agency what's going on. It doesn't have to be only your traffic units. It can be all the officers or deputies or troopers at your agency. Another thing we got coming up in July is Operation Southern Slowdown. That's going to be the anti-speed campaign, July 15th through the 19th. I'm trying to put together another press conference, probably at D7 or FHP Troop C. Try and find the best location for that. I'm going to get Steve Gaskins online. That is also a reportable campaign. We ask that law enforcement also participate in that. And then we do have a Labor Day Drive Sober, Get Pulled Over campaign, August 16th through September 2nd. That's another reportable campaign. We did have within District 7, 4 agencies placed in the law enforcement traffic safety challenge. I cannot divulge where they placed yet, but they will be going to the award ceremony in Orlando. There were 3 agencies from Pinellas, 1 from Hillsborough, and the FHP Troop C here in D7 placed. And also building on that again, May is Motorcycle Safety Month. If you need any information or any materials for enforcement issues, please reach out to Ride Smart Florida. They can definitely provide that for you. You can order all those things online, or I can help you get them too if you're law enforcement, and those materials are also available to the public. Just want to bring everybody up to speed on the campaign. So the first one will be Click It or Ticket. This month, July 15th, we'll do the Southern Slowdown, and then Labor Day Drive Sober, Get Pulled Over campaign, and we'll start gearing up for the 2025 cycle coming up towards the end of the year. So that's all I have. I appreciate you giving me a couple minutes to talk about that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Jim. Did you hear anything about the Operation Ride Smart that we had last weekend? I know they had that plan, but I haven't heard anything about how it went.
Actually, I was part of that. It was a long day, 15-hour day. We went, left Tampa, went down to Collier County for the SMART program. Went over, met up with Palm Beach County, and ended with a press conference in Osceola. It was put together really kind of at the last minute. It's something that came together. We wanted to kick off Motorcycle Safety Month. A lot of good public feedback along the ride, especially when we stopped. You know, just asking, you know, what are you guys doing out here? What are you trying to do? Because they'd see the different agencies in different areas of the state with all the trailers that, you know, usually have the Ride Smart logos or the Smart logos on it. Press conference in Osceola. We met up with Jacksonville and Gainesville at a Smart program at that time. I know Citrus had one for a while. I'm not sure if they're still doing it now, but it's something that requires a lot of work. It's a lot of time to put in, and you know, all the agencies. It's a struggle to staff it all the time, but it's well worth our while. It's something that we hope we can continue in the future with the Smart Ride, and it's like I said, it was well received by the public, so we're hoping we can continue that into the future. But so maybe next May of 2025, we'll be doing it again. And the lead on that was Tampa, but all the agencies played a role in that, and really we made sure that everybody got billing for that, not just the agencies in D7, to make sure that to get the word out to the public that that training is available, and best of all, it's free. And you're not going to beat the training you're going to get at those. Not to knock the MSF schools, they're great, but the law enforcement training is probably some of the best crash mitigation training you're going to receive out there.
Yeah, awesome. I know we've heard a lot of great feedback from the people who've participated in it. We've got a PSA that we're developing with help from Jim and some other folks related to the SMART program. That should be finalized, if not already, then very, very soon. So expect to see that going out. We're probably going to do a little e-blast to all the CTST groups about the Ride Smart program sometime either this week or next for Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. So if anybody here needs more information about that, just keep your eyes peeled. Any other items of new business anybody wants to bring up? Anybody going once, going twice? Alrighty, with that then let's move into our last item, which is the open forum and announcements. The only thing we have slated is Melissa to give her SS4A update.
Yep, so hey everybody, just to let you know, this still is ongoing for the Safe Streets for All grant. The first deadline has come and gone for the grant. So the next deadline is May 16th. This is the sole deadline for the implementation grants, and the second deadline for the planning and demonstration grants. And then there is one final deadline on August 29th, which is the third and final deadline for the planning and demonstration grants, and then it is closed for the season. So there's still a bunch of money out there. If you guys need help, we're going to have a conversation with some folks. I believe it's Bob Esposito and Walt Eastman and some other folks, just to see if they're interested for some, to get, their grant rolling for that, because Bob was interested. So we're going to have a chat with them this week. If you guys want to get together and have a side conversation, we're definitely willing to do that with you guys to help, facilitate, how the grant can be, helpful for you guys. Just let us know. We're available. And that's my update. Yes, Jim.
Well, I got a lot of input today, don't I? So since law enforcement's also in the room here, let's and George didn't make it today. I'm sure Brenton can build on this. The phase or year 3 of the enhanced law enforcement engagement program is getting ready to start. It's right now the best way to get that equipment in the officer's hands. George's going to be having some organizational meetings coming up probably within the next 30 days, Brenton. I know that there's a few things in the planning stages now, but for all the law enforcement, I know Citrus County did an excellent job last year and received a lot of help for their traffic safety efforts. So that's going to be kicking off again. And we're all in this together. So we're going to go ahead and kick that off and get that rolling, hopefully within the next month or so.
Yeah, we have a contract submitted to FDOT, and so it's just working its way around. And then once that's executed, we can start planning the kickoff meetings.
Also, Jim, I'm gonna try to call the DHSMV to see if I could try to figure out a contact for you because I was just checking and I don't see any specific contact available. So I'll try to see if I can get a hold of them and get some more information.
So just to paint a picture, the specific agency was 6 weeks behind, haven't heard a thing. Depending on, it's nice to work for a sheriff's office or the state because you don't have the red tape. The cities usually have to run MOUs like that through city council or the mayor's office, which can take an extended amount of time. So if we could just get a contact to at least, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's several people working on it up there, but yeah, the delay is that, I mean, we're already into the middle of the year and, it seems like right now we'd be lucky if we have it before the end of the year. So definitely if we can move that needle, that would be great.
All right, does anybody have anything else they want to discuss on the open forum or any other announcements they want to make before we adjourn for the day? Alrighty, if nobody has anything else, then we can go ahead and adjourn our meeting. Our next meeting will be June 12th in person, so we'll have to figure out a place for that, probably Brooksville Operations, usually where we do this one. But keep an eye peeled, an announcement will go out wherever we decide to hold it. So I will see you all June 12th.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Take care, y'all.
Thank you.